Alright, what's going on, guys? So it is a nice day out here in Minooka, and I haven't been on my bike in a while. Actually, haven't probably gone for a ride in about 2 weeks. Been so busy working a lot of OT lately, doing stuff like that. So it was a nice day. Figured I would go ahead and go for a ride and make a video while I'm at it. So a couple of weeks ago I made a video talking about the 5 things that I hate about the Harley Sportster Iron 883. So I'm going to make another video talking about the 5 things that I love about the Harley Sportster Iron 883. And I've seen a few videos like this and kind of really helped me deciding whether I should purchase one or not. So I figured, why not go ahead and make a video and explain that. So I've still had the bike for probably about 4 months now, three months, and this is coming from a guy who's never rode a motorcycle, never owned a motorcycle. I say that probably in about every one of my videos. Riding a little while now, and I think I got a pretty good feel for the pros and cons of this motorcycle and stuff like that. I'm taking a nice little back road here over by Dollinger Farms. Alright, so before I get started, I need you guys to do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and hit that bell icon so that way you'll get notified every time I upload a video. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up too. Also, if you guys are active on Instagram, go ahead and give me a follow there. Post a lot of pictures of mainly firearms. However, I do post some motorcycle related pictures as well. So getting started, the 5 things that I love about the Harley Sportster Iron 883. And probably the very first one I would have to say is the aesthetics of the motorcycle. This bike looks awesome just looking at it. It's got that old school look to it. There's not, and specifically the Iron 883 I like a lot because it's kind of blacked out. Not a lot of chrome. I've seen like a lot of old bikers used to put chrome out everything, and I really never liked that look. And I think most people are kind of getting away from that as far as what I see, especially in newer motorcycles and newer riders, millennials I guess you would say. But the look, it just looks awesome. It's got that old school look to it. It's kind of like, I forgot who described it, but it's kind of like if you bought a classic car that was still in production today, if that makes any sense. But the overall aesthetics, it's simple. It's got a really cool look to it. I have the industrial gray, and originally when I was looking at it, it was either between this one or the matte black. And this one I actually saved a little bit of money, so I went with the gray. I think it looks cool. And the blacked out look, I mean the gray and black, it looks really cool. I mean, I actually get a lot of compliments when people see my motorcycle. They walk up, they're like, hey, nice bike, hey, it looks cool. And I would agree, it looks really cool. But that probably is the number one thing that I like most about the motorcycle, is just the overall look and the aesthetics of it. Alright, moving on. Number 2, I would have to say the reliability. Now this motorcycle comes with the Evolution engine, and it is known for being a very, very reliable engine. It is kind of older technology, but they've stuck with it for so long and refined it that it is a very reliable engine. And it's simple. Pretty much everything on this motorcycle, I guess I would say, is pretty simple. So easy to maintain, not a lot to go wrong with it, but a very reliable motorcycle. Now a lot of people have mentioned that it does leak oil, and it's a real loose fitting motor, but that's kind of what gives it its reliability, and that's fine with me. But that's probably the second thing that I like about the Harley. And I'm taking this back road here. This is over from Dollinger Farm in Minooka over to Morris, and I like this route. I've rode it a few times. And supposedly there is a haunted cemetery back here somewhere, so maybe one day I'll try to find it. I believe it's called the Ox Stable Cemetery, but it's supposed to be pretty creepy, especially if you go at nighttime, which you probably shouldn't. But I guess there's gravestones that go all the way back to the 1700s or the early 1800s, which is kind of cool. But maybe one day I'll try to look it up and ride past it or check that out. It's kind of cool. I actually believe we ride past the newer one. Alright, so moving on. The third thing that I love about the Harley Iron Sportster 883 is probably the customization and the mods you can do to it and the aftermarket support. This motorcycle has a ton of aftermarket support, and you could change probably just about any part you want or you could dream of. There's a lot of stuff available, and many people usually don't leave it stock. I mean, they like to change parts out, change stuff out, customize it to their own riding style and what they're going after. And you could change this motorcycle just to look at anything you could dream of. You can make it look like that, which is pretty cool. Me, I already know there's a bunch of stuff I want to do to it. Probably starting off with exhaust, seat, probably the two main things. But just a ton of customization and mods you can do to this bike. I believe that's one of the kind of the main reasons a lot of people get it too, is just kind of make it your own, or go online, get inspiration from other people, what they did to theirs, YouTube, Instagram, and then kind of customize it similar with your own touch. So that's kind of cool. And you know what, there's nothing wrong with leaving exactly how it is, stock from the factory, off the showroom floor, because it still looks badass. Performance, there might be a little bit room for improvement there. Kind of talked about that in my last video about the 5 things I hate. But you could, I mean, it has 883 cc's, that's where it gets its name from, and you could go all the way up to a 1200 to get more power, and I believe 1250, 1275 is what I've seen, and I believe it comes with like 47 horsepower, and you could get this up to 100 horsepower if you want, so that's pretty cool. Alright, moving on. The fourth thing that I love about this bike probably be how nimble it is and how light it is. I mean, it's got a really skinny front tire, and for a Harley, it's actually really light and nimble. I mean, this thing just, you can kind of flick around, and it's pretty cool, especially for being a beginner. It's something you could hop on, and you can feel pretty confident on, pretty comfortable riding around, and feel like you have a lot of control on it, which is great for new riders. That's why a lot of people recommend this if you're looking for a Harley. That's a good bike to start out on, just to get comfortable with riding a motorcycle, learning the controls, handling. It has really good handling, and it's really light. I haven't scraped the foot pegs, but I know a lot of motorcycles, I believe some of the soft tails actually have a horrible turn radius where they always scrape, which kind of sucks. But I haven't done that yet on this. And there's even things you could do to increase that through modification and parts and stuff like that. But again, just hopping on a motorcycle, learning to ride, getting comfortable with everything, it's great just because the handling is really good on it. Especially now after riding for a few months, I feel pretty confident on it. Haven't hit my 1,000 miles yet. Like I said, I haven't rode it in about 2 weeks. And I believe I'm at 800. Let's check here. 842, so I'm getting there. I believe that's like the initial braking period, first 1,000 miles. And then you take it back to Harley. If you want, you don't have to do their maintenance on it, which I'm going to do. I believe it's $300. So getting close to that. But yeah, so those are, so far that's what we went over as far as what I love. And probably the fifth thing, and which is a key factor for many people, including myself, is affordability. How much does it cost? And it's very affordable for a Harley. I mean, I bought this brand new and I paid $8,200 for it, which was definitely in my price range, within my budget. And even if you check out the used market, you could save a lot of money going used, and they're definitely affordable. If you're one of those guys that says, hey man, I want a Harley, because you do pay a little bit extra for the Harley and for the name, and that's with a lot of companies, and it's affordable, especially for, I guess, younger people that want to get into riding motorcycles. You don't have a lot of money. I mean, like 10 grand to drop on a motorcycle, 20 grand to drop on a motorcycle. I mean, for me, this thing's a toy. I don't use it to commute. I've driven to work once with it, and for some people, I mean, if you live in the city or something like that, it does make a lot of does make a lot of sense to have this as your daily driver and for your commute to work and back. But for me, this is just something I like to ride on the weekends or when it's nice out. Live in northern Illinois, so we got winter, so half the year I'll be sitting in my garage. But it is affordable. It's something that younger people that don't have so much of a disposable income could save and could purchase. And again, check out the used motorcycles, check out Cycle Trader, Facebook Marketplace, and you should be able to find something in your area that's a pretty good deal. But that's it. Those are the 5 things that I love about this Harley. And I mean, the main thing I can say is if you're thinking about getting one and you're watching a bunch of videos on YouTube right now, that's what I did before I bought it. I tried to watch every video I could while I was saving money and while I was getting nicer out before I bought it. And it helped me out a lot, and I don't think you will regret it. Now, some dealers, some salespeople might try to upsell you and tell you, hey, you're gonna get bored, you're gonna want a bigger bike. And maybe, for me, I'm not gonna get bored anytime soon on this, and eventually, maybe next summer, I'll think about upgrading the engine and doing stuff like that. But I'm still a newbie. Like I said, 850 miles, it's not a lot at all. Some people could do that in a weekend. I know this guy I work with, he probably put 400 miles on it over the 4th of July holiday weekend, and he said all he did was road, which is fun. This is actually the newer cemetery I was talking about, but supposedly around here there is a haunted cemetery. Maybe one day I'll find it. But this is a nice route. I really like riding back here. This guy in front of me, he's going kind of slow. I'd probably go a little bit faster, but still a beautiful day. Nice to get out and ride. Finally had a day off work. Just been getting slammed with overtime, but hey, who doesn't like money, especially when you're making time and a half? It's always fun. Well, I don't know about working's always fun, but when you get your paycheck, payday, that's always a fun day. Alright guys, and also one thing I want to mention is check out my website. I'm going to link it down below, and I do firearm webinars. So I know a lot of people that watch my channel are here from firearms. It's kind of the main thing I've been making videos on. Firearm reviews, firearm gear like that. And I believe they kind of go hand in hand. Most people that like guns like motorcycles and vice versa, I'd say. But go ahead and check out my website. I do these webinars, and what you do is you register for them. I'm gonna go right. Never been this way. Or maybe I have went this way once. I don't know. We'll check it out though. Hopefully it's not a dead end. Alright, but back to what I was saying. I do these firearm webinars. What you do is I'll post one, and I'll limit to so many seats that people can register for. Like 25 seats, 30 seats, that's it. That's how many people can enter to view it. And I'll do a live webinar where I briefly talk about the firearm. Ooh, which way should I go? I'm gonna go right. Fuck it, we'll check this out. What I do is I briefly talk about the firearm, review it, and then what I'll do is I'll actually give it away live to somebody who registered to watch it, which is pretty cool. Some people may have seen some Facebook groups. I have my own Facebook group that do it, but that do similar stuff. I don't know about with firearms and firearm related gear, but I've seen people do it with like TVs, electronics, just random stuff. But I am a licensed FFL, and I have been doing that. So if you guys want to check that out, it's firstworldcrusader.com. That's my website, and then if you go /webinars, I'll list what I have available, and you can check it out. And right now I got an ammo one going on. I think there's a few seats left. I got 1,000 rounds of 5.56 green tips going, which is really hard to get right now. And same with lots of firearms. Everybody wants 9mm and AR-15s, which are the two guns I recommend, to be honest. 9mm pistol and AR-15 and 5.56. But those are probably the hardest to get right now with the current climate in the US and in the world. been a crazy year so far, and who knows, it could get crazier. But why I'm kind of explaining that is I'm just a home-based FFL, and I'm only registered with one distributor, well, 3 of them actually, but I can only get guns from one right now, and they have nothing available. I could get a bolt-action rifle and an odd caliber, which nobody really wants right now, or a single-shot 22, which nobody wants right now. So I might try to start getting some used guns and do webinars and reviews on used guns. But yeah, I'm trying. I get people messaging me all the time, hey, can I get a Glock 19? Can I get a SIG P365? And I'm like, no man, sorry. I'm like, those are definitely good guns I would recommend for you, but just right now nothing's available. That's why I tell people too, it's like there's always cycles where everything gets sold out, prices go up, and then a few years later everything's available, prices go down. It's always up and down. And I tell people, hey, when you got extra money and stuff, get some gear. Don't wait for a crisis to go out and try to scramble and buy something and panic buy. And one little thing I got from my camera, my GoPro here, I've been loving this thing, is a ND filter. Finally ordered it, or finally showed up. I ordered it a month and a half, 2 months ago, and it finally showed up. So that's cool. Hopefully this video turns out pretty good. And yeah, I think I might be making a video on my helmet setup. I'm new to riding and motovlogging and stuff like that, and I watched a few videos, but I'm pretty happy with my setup, so maybe I'll make a video on that. Alright guys, but I think that's where I'm going to end this. Again, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. And hit that bell icon so you'll get notified when I upload videos. Thanks for watching. Be safe. Until next time.